Nikola Jokic and Serbia just got eliminated out of EuroBasket 2025 in the round of 16 by Finland. And my socials instantly blew up with people saying he got exposed. I saw comments like, this is why he's not the best player in the world, and look, I get where it's coming from. Finland hunted him in switches all game long, and to the casual fan, it definitely looked like Jokic got cooked. But here's the thing, that's not the real story. In this video, I want to actually answer the question. Did Jokic really get exposed at the EuroBasket, or was this more about Serbia's system and coaching? First of all, this wasn't just any loss. Coming into the EuroBasket, Serbia were the heavy favorites. We're talking about a roster led by Jokic with Bogdan Bogdanovic as the captain, plus a supporting cast stacked with NBA and EuroLeague talent. Just last year, they pushed the star-studded Team USA to the brink in the Olympic semifinals, and 2 years ago, they were World Cup silver medalists without Jokic. On paper, this was their moment to finally win the EuroBasket gold. But then, everything shifted. Bogdanovic went down with an injury in just the second group game, and suddenly the team that was built around a Jokic-boggy core looked completely different. Guys like Vasilije Micic or other veterans had to step up, but the chemistry nor their shape weren't there. They still won enough to reach the knockouts, but the cracks were obvious, especially in that loss to Turkey, which we covered on our channel before. So when Finland actually pulled off that upset, it felt shocking, but not completely out of nowhere. Also, I gotta emphasize, offensively, Jokic was brilliant. Across the whole tournament, he averaged over 22 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists on an absurd 66% shooting. He even set a Serbian record by dropping 39 points in the group stage against Latvia. And even in the elimination game itself, he still put up 33 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals on just 13 shots. That's not a guy getting exposed, that's a guy who's doing everything he can on offense while simultaneously collapsing on the other end of the floor. You see, that collapse wasn't just about Jokic suddenly being bad at defense. Everyone already knows he's not a switch everything type of player, that's never been his game. Denver literally won a championship by building a defensive system that hit his weaknesses and maximized his IQ, positioning, and size. Serbia, on the other hand, did the exact opposite. They kept leaving him in one-on-one situations against guards and wings in Finland's 5-out offense without any help, no stunts, no adjustments. Basically, they put him in the worst possible role for his skill set. And I won't even get into the other factors like the reported bad chemistry in the team or any other factors that led to this loss for Serbia. Today, we're focusing on Nikola and how this whole situation was incredibly strange. Game adjustments, modern basketball, latest strategies, they were completely missing with Serbia. And clearly that's something that frustrated both Jokic and other players. Before we get into the clips that show this clearly, make sure to subscribe and put notifications on. We've got weekly videos covering EuroBasket and the NBA from an international perspective, and you don't want to miss them. Okay, so let's start with the obvious. Finland wanted Jokic in space and they got him. Here Lauri Markkanen isolates against him, and notice how Serbia just switches without a second thought. Jokic is left alone, no help, no rotations coming, and even though Markkanen misses here, this is exactly what Finland wants. Jokic isn't supposed to be left on an island against quicker guys. That's a coaching failure, not some big revelation about his defense. Now fast forward to the crunch time.
He holds it. He gets it to Markkanen. He puts it up. That's good.
Finland again goes hunting, forcing Jokic onto Lauri. And what's crazy is Serbia does nothing to try and avoid it. No hedging here, no blitzing, just another straight switch. Jokic fronts the post at first, which is actually smart, but once Lauri pops out, Jokic simply can't cover the ground quickly enough. You got an easy bucket. In Denver, this situation almost never happens because the defense works to cover him, and here Serbia basically threw him under the bus. And yep, they kept going back to it. Same story, Jokic switched here, stuck one-on-one, and with no backline help, it's 3 points for Finland. The funny thing is, even Marko Guduric is standing right next to Jokic and doesn't rotate. That tells you all you need to know about the system. It wasn't about Jokic not trying here, it was Serbia's whole defensive game plan being outdated against a modern 5-out team. Now Serbia did try one adjustment, cross-matching.
Setting the pick. Valtonen Drives in, tough take from Elias Valtonen.
Basically having Jokic guard a perimeter player who isn't a threat from there, hoping to keep him out of direct actions. Teams have used this before, even Denver at times. But the problem was that it came too late. By then, Finland's guards were already in rhythm, and instead of neutralizing the problem, Jokic still ended up dragged into actions. You can't just throw out a gimmick in the fourth quarter and expect it to save you. Here's the wildest example.
He's got 29 points. And a foul on Jokic, that's number 4.
You've got Jokic guarding a Finnish guard full court. Like, what are we doing here? You don't use the most dominant offensive player in the world like this. Denver would never waste his energy chasing guards around 30 feet from the hoop. It might look like Jokic is just a slow defender, but in reality, it's him being asked to do something his body isn't built for. But let's be clear, Jokic isn't hopeless. Look at this possession. He switches, stays in front, cuts off the drive, and forces a tough shot. That's him using his IQ and size to survive in a bad matchup. Plays like this remind you why Denver can build a defense around him. They don't ask him to do this every trip, just enough to keep the opponent honest. And finally, one more good example. It's late in the game, another switch, and Jokic actually stays with the guard, using his body to cut him off and even getting a block. So it's not that he can't do it, he can sometimes, but it's not sustainable, and it's definitely not how you want your best player spending his energy in a knockout game. So after watching all of that, the takeaway here isn't that Jokic got exposed. It's that Serbia's system completely failed him. We've seen Denver face the exact same challenges, teams trying to drag him into space, mismatch hunt, and force him into switches. But the Nuggets don't just shrug and accept it. They fight over screens, they blitz, they rotate, they even throw in zone looks when needed. The whole idea is to buy Jokic time, keep him out of those one-on-one isolations, and let him use his IQ instead of his foot speed. And there are plenty of other examples out there. The Knicks, for instance, they hide Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns all the time, using these aggressive pick-and-roll coverages and quick rotations that keep them from being exposed. Serbia could have done the same. Zone defenses are also way more common in FIBA, and they could have parked Jokic in the paint a bit more, where his size and instincts actually become an advantage. Instead, we saw him chasing guards at half court and switching onto Lauri over and over. And that's why I personally can't put this on Jokic. In my opinion, a lot of it comes down to coaching. Yes, Svetislav Pesic is a legendary coach who led this team to some great victories in the past. But the reality is he's 76 years old, and brain cognition is probably the most important asset a tactician should have in basketball. I'm not trying to be ageist here, but there's a reason why a lot of coaches retire before they enter their late 70s. It's just natural. So in a way, I do agree with Eric from the DNVR podcast, who said that Pesic actually seemed a bit asleep at the wheel. But that's just my take. What do you think? Is this crash out at the round of 16 the fault of the coaching staff? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, put notifications on so you don't miss out on EuroBasket 2025 coverage, and for more NBA takes through an overseas lens.